Yeah, thanks. Well, very first thing, just congratulations to San Diego State on Steve and his kids for a great season. 27 wins and great program, great people, and they were a very worthy opponent today. A team that was really tough for us to score against, and so we beat a really good team. Our guys played outstanding defense. Justice, his defensive rebounding, especially in the first half, was huge, and his play throughout was huge. And then Ja was, his scoring inside to get that percentage of shots and makes against the San Diego State defense that is one of the best in the country was terrific. And my guards handled the ball well, and we're going to Houston. So that's a heck of a thing. I'm proud of my team.
Questions, please raise your hand. Let's get the handheld mic to you. First, the questions for Justice and Jaleel. First question to our left.
Tom Shanahan, Aztec Sports Report. Jaleel, you don't see a lot of guys as big and dominant physically as you that apparently spend so much time working on your moves and your fakes. Where did that come from? Did somebody influence you at a young age?
I've always been playing. I've been playing basketball my entire life, so it's just a lot of the things come natural. I'm just really comfortable playing in the post, and I've always been bigger than everybody else my size. So at an early age, I was always trying to force to be in the paint just because I was taller than everybody else, and it's just somewhere where I'm very comfortable.
Question is about the moves, his individual moves.
Well, I have a trainer that I've been working with since 8th grade, and he's been great for me. And even since I've stepped on the Duke campus, I've been working a lot of moves with Coach Capel and watching film with the coaches. They've pointed out some things that they think will work, and it has been effective for me.
Greg Logan of Newsday for Jaleel. How much did the aggressiveness and the quickness of your guards have to do with putting their defense on their heels and creating openings for you?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
How much did the quickness of your guards have to do with putting their defense on their heels and kind of creating some openings for you?
Well, our guards, they were phenomenal tonight on both ends of the floor. And like you said, they found me multiple times to give me easy opportunities to score, and they were giving me all the confidence in the world. But I think their quickness did give San Diego State a problem.
To our left again.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Jaleel, what did you learn from Friday night, and how did that experience help you tonight?
Just the game was never over. We had a huge lead on Robert Morris, and they cut it down to 10, and we kind of felt the pressure of that game, and we learned that from this game, and we never let up. The entire game we stayed together, we kept competing.
Front row.
Richard Walker, Gaston Gazette. Usually winning the ACC tournament leads to NCAA success. What did you guys do to recharge your batteries in the last week to come in here and play the two games like you played and moving forward?
Justice.
Well, really, we just took some time off, let our bodies recover, physically. But just the whole week, Coach did a great job of getting us, mentally prepared. We didn't find out our opponent till Wednesday, so throughout that week at the beginning, there was a lot of focus on us and how we can get better as a team. And once we, found our opponent, the coach did a great job of, letting us know the scouting and the game plan. And we were just very prepared for both these games, and so that week of practice really helped us get better.
Middle of the room.
Jaleel, at one point early in the first half, or midway through the first half, you finished off a fast break with a dunk, and you turned around and you punched your fist and you're clapping, and kind of emotional. What was going through your head then? Because you were maybe a little more emotional than I'm used to seeing.
I just had a lot of emotion going through me before the game, and me and my brothers, we really just wanted this game, and there was no reason for it. I don't know why I did it. It was just all emotion, and I was passionate about the game.
To our left.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Jaleel, what is it? What would it mean to you, to get to the top of the mountain here? Obviously, you have a ways to go, but what would that mean to you to win a national title?
It would mean the world to me. I've always wanted to win a national title. Me, Justice, Tyus, Grayson, the freshmen we were coming in here, we had one big dream of winning a national title, and that's what led me to come to Duke, was the opportunity of winning a national title. So that's where all my focus has been the entire season, and that's where it still is. So we're putting everything on the line, and that's my number one goal.
Justice?
Like Josh said, just as a kid, you grow up wanting to be in that moment and wanting to play on that big stage. So it's been a long season. We had our ups and downs, and for us to finish off, in that fashion, would be great. But we got a lot of work to be done.
Other questions for Justice and Jaleel? Okay, thanks, guys. Good job. Okay, questions for Coach? Please raise your hand again. Let's get the mics to you. Who's the first question? To our right.
Ed Harden, Greensboro. Mike, you reduced your rotation tonight dramatically, it seems. And then at some point in the game, you stopped calling set plays and went straight in motion offense the rest of it. Is that right? Did I see that correctly? And why did you do that?
It's pretty good. Keep going. I'll grade you on. What was the first point you made?
The rotation.
Rotation. He was so good that I'm really pretty good. I don't go into the game thinking about a rotation. Part of it has to do with foul trouble, who they have, and our matchups, and then conditioning. Ja, especially with these long timeouts. Ja this week is in much better shape than he was the last 3.5 weeks of the season. I think he's pretty much over his injury, and so he can play longer. And if you hit on a group, I would have had Grayson in there a little bit longer, but he got into foul trouble. It just kind of hit. In the second half, they're a very good defensive team, and they're very tall and they got great length. They're tough to score against, and they were prepared to stop some of our sets really well. And so we just said at a timeout, look, let's run motion. You guys attack, follow your instincts. If you can get it to Ja while you're running motion, get it to Ja, but be players. And we do that at different times during the season, but today it really worked out. It was almost like a good push for them because it translated on defense also. It just kind of worked out. But they're the ones who they were making the plays, and they made it happen.
Front row to our left.
Richard Walker, Gaston Gazette. I was asking the players about usually the ACC tournament winner springboards, and certainly Notre Dame has, but how do you deal with not winning it and still being motivated and keeping the goals that you obviously have in mind?
Yeah, no, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we've won a national championship. When we've won a tournament, I remember losing by 20 points in the championship game and winning. And I think the main thing is for any team to put what they've just done behind them and try to get fresh. And that's what we've tried to do. When we lost to Notre Dame, it's not like you go back and punish them. They've been too good. But learn from it, get fresh, and then you're 0-0 again. That's what we tried to do.
Back of the room under the lights.
Mike, Jonathan Joel, Charlotte Observer, when Justice has the kind of all-around game that he had today, what does that do for the team, especially on the defensive end?
Yeah, well, it just takes us to a whole nother level. I mean, those two kids played at a really high level this afternoon. And Justice a lot was on their best player, O'Brien, who I think a lot of people feel is the best player in that conference in the Mountain West. And certainly that point forward, that guy he's a really good player. And Justice won that individual battle. Not that he was bad, but Justice was so good. And it gave our guys, more confidence. Those two kids really played great games this afternoon, big-time games.
Middle of the room in front of you, Coach.
Coach Viv Bernstein, New York Times, you know what it takes to win a national championship. As you look at this team, do you see all the pieces coming together right now that tell you have a shot?
Yeah, we have a shot because we can still play. There'll be 16 teams that'll have a shot. And a couple things. One, we're healthy. Hopefully we stay healthy. We weren't healthy the last couple weeks of the regular season completely. We have great attitudes. The guys aren't ready for this to be over. In other words, they're not mentally tired. They're not physically tired. They're together. We have talent. We're getting older by experience. And so we just have, we got better here. These two games, our defense was really good here. And we shared the ball well. Again tonight, 16-9, really good. So we got better, and if we can, we got to play Friday night. Hopefully we get better then and get a chance to play Sunday. And it's a young group of kids that have really had a great season, and they still want to get better. So you got a chance. We got a chance.
Fourth row right in front of me.
Hey, Mike, Al Featherston with Access Sports. When they cut it to 7, they came down and Tyus fed Quinn in the corner for 3, and you called an immediate timeout, even though there was a timeout coming on the next dead ball. What did you tell them? Because y'all went on a 13-0 run after that.
Well, I thought, we had lost control of the game. They were in more control. The momentum of the game was theirs, and we had just seized it with that 3. And I wanted to make sure, I would just want to be the point guard for the timeout and say, look, we need stops. We're going to go motion. Let's change this right now. And I've done that more this year with this group at different times to call some timeouts when it's not in the book to call them or whatever, but just more by feel. And I think they needed a blow. They needed a blow, and then so they would be fresh defensively.
To our right.
Yeah, Jerome Solomon from the Houston Chronicle. Coach, you obviously have learned a lot about your freshmen throughout this season, but did you learn something else about them this weekend in their first tournament action? And talk
sure.
about that growth of them from beginning to now.
Yeah, well, sure, thank you. This is their first time. And even for the upperclassmen, most of the questions for the upperclassmen was what you did last year. So there wasn't a lot of positive vibe about us being in the tournament. It was can you get over this? And then it's a new thing for you. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I thought our guys had fun this week. We didn't pay attention to anything like that. We just played. And they're such a good, close group. They're really a close group. And they responded in both games when it got down to 10 against Robert Morris and it got down to 7 this afternoon. They responded to their best play, which that's the thing you can't teach. You don't know if they're going to do it, and they did, and so I'm proud of them for doing that. This tournament, I call it tournament pressure, and they handled it really well twice.
To our left.
Brett Jensen, FoxSports.com. Steve Fisher was talking about how you guys offensively were able to do things that teams haven't been able to do against them all year, like getting to the rim, finding the open 3, then pounding it down low to Okafor. Is this maybe the most versatile offense you've had in quite a while? Because it seems like you've got 4 guys, whether it's the wing players, the guards, or down low, that you're able to score almost at will against anybody at any time.
Well, it's a very complimentary group of guys because you have, I think, the best low-post scorer in the country in Ja. We have good shooters, and we have guys who can drive. And so, that's why we've been one of the best offensive teams in the country because we have those components. And but it starts with Ja. Because you don't just get penetration with a dribble, you get penetration with a pass, and then you get results, and so you move the defense in and out. And Ja overall has done a really good job with the double team. So It's been a really good one of the very good offensive teams I've had, and we've been a good defensive team most of the year, right? And we just had a couple games where we weren't good, but overall we've been a very good defensive team, and we're really good here for these 2 games.
2 more questions, our left, and we'll finish up on our right.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Coach, the other night with Ja with the dunk, do you think that was a learning lesson for him, and how do you think that impacted how well he played today?
Yeah, well, I think all of them are learning lessons. He shouldn't have done that, and he knows it. He takes responsibility for it, and just like he should take responsibility for playing great tonight. And why did that happen? Why did that happen? Were you a little bit more mentally prepared tonight? Did you show emotion? Did you put more into it? And did you play through tired? I didn't think, like in that situation, it was the end of a 4-minute period. I thought he was tired, and he made a mistake. Tonight, this afternoon, when he got tired, he played through it and made really good plays. And that's part of becoming a really good player, is to be tired. A team needs to beat it, and a player needs to beat it, because all these kids get tired.
Last question.
Coach, what adjustments do you have to make heading into Houston against Utah and their 3-point shooting team?
I haven't watched anybody. I wish, I'll handle Utah questions. Nothing against them. I just haven't watched them. I didn't know we would be going to Houston until about an hour ago. And in between, I haven't watched any of their tape or whatever. So I'll be happy on our press conferences, before the game, to talk in detail about Utah. But I just know they're coached by a guy with an amazing background. I think in the history of the game, that I don't know how many times 2 Polish coaches will go against one another, and where both of us are called Coach K. And but he's a good friend. I had him on my Sirius XM show about a month ago, and boy, was he was really good, really good. And his background is amazing. And I know they play with great character, and they come from a great conference, but I'll study them more and I'll be more apt to give a good answer as to how we would defend them and attack them. Okay?
One last question. See if this one is as good as his first
Mike, have you been able to, were you aware of how well the conference has played? And
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's, how about the Triangle region? It's not bad. But the whole tournament has had incredible games, just incredible games. And our hearts and our thoughts and prayers go out to Mike and his family, for him to coach that game without anyone knowing that his mom had passed away. And, she was an Olympic swim. She was, like Mike said, she was way ahead of her time. She was just like a great, great lady. And for his team and for the basketball gods to make that happen was so good. I'm so happy, and I hope they're doing all right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.